Welcome to the Smart Weight Loss Coaching Podcast. I'm Dr. Lisa Olson, a board-certified weight loss medicine specialist and certified life coach. In this podcast, I'll share fresh insights and effective techniques for incorporating mindset, habit change, and proven science into your life. Are you ready to achieve sustainable weight loss, wellness, and longevity? Then let's jump in and lose weight the smart way. Welcome back. Today's episode is titled The Top 5 Foods That Block Weight Loss, but I'll really be telling you about the top 5 foods that catch people by surprise. These are foods that people select on purpose because they look or sound healthy, when in fact, they're the opposite. There's one food that creates an audible gasp from the audience whenever I show a slideshow with the ingredient list. People are stunned by how unhealthy this chemically laden food actually is because it sounds like it should be a healthy choice. But before I tell you about this sneaky food, let me give you a quick review. If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you know that ultra-processed foods are a contributing factor to the dramatic weight gain we're seeing in this country. Actually, globally, not just in the U.S. You also know by now that ultra-processed foods are killing us. They increase the risk of all sorts of health problems, including dementia, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. In fact, last year, new data was published telling us that these foods are even associated with an increased risk for cancer. This is serious, people. If I told you that eating a Pop-Tart might increase your risk for cancer, I think you'd find it easy to avoid Pop-Tarts. The problem is that so many of these ultra-processed foods aren't that obvious. It's terrible to realize how often we deliberately choose foods thinking we've made a smart choice when in fact the ingredient list would suggest otherwise. As we talk about these foods, I'll interchangeably call them Nova 4 or ultra-processed foods. It means the same thing. I'm struck over and over again by how sneaky food manufacturers are at hiding Nova 4 ingredients. It's not unusual for a food to have all sorts of health claims on the front of the package and to give the appearance that, if anything, this is a health food, when in fact the ingredient list is loaded with chemical flavor enhancers, cosmetic additives, thickeners, and preservatives. Why do we care? Again, not only do these foods cut into our health span, but they also make us hungrier. When I go over food trackers in our weight loss program, the most helpful thing I can do is to get people reading their ingredient labels and swapping out Nova 4 foods for less processed alternatives. So let's do this list of the 5 most common Nova 4 foods that shock people. I'm not talking about Pop-Tarts here. We all know those are Nana Flips, non-nutritive food-like products. I'm talking about almond milk. Number 1 on our list of surprisingly unhealthy foods is almond milk. People working on their weight know that plant sources of protein are healthy, and so they often opt for almond milk over cow milk. It's true that homemade almond milk, made with nothing more than almonds, water, a pinch of salt, and a blender, is a terrific choice. But if you're buying a shelf-stable almond milk that can sit in a box for 3 months without going bad, it's definitely going to have some Nova 4 surprises in there for you. Here's one that's refrigerated, but still ultra-processed: Califia Farms unsweetened almond milk. Smart thinking to choose the unsweetened version, true. But look what else you'll find inside when you check out the ingredient list on the back of the bottle. Calcium carbonate, sunflower lecithin, natural flavors, please put that in air quotes for me, guar gum, gellan gum, and potassium citrate. Keep in mind that natural flavors is not at all natural. It's made in a lab just like artificial flavors are. An alternative option would be the unsweetened almond milk from a brand called Malk, M-A-L-K. But keep in mind that brands change their recipes all the time. Today, their ingredient list shows only almonds, water, and salt, but relentlessly read every label every time to avoid surprises. I see it often that healthy product manufacturers swap out ingredients to enhance flavors and keep products on the shelves longer. Number 2 on our list of surprisingly unhealthy foods is French vanilla coffee mate creamer, or hazelnut if you prefer. These creamers have single-handedly put my kids through college with all of the business they send my way. I'm just kidding, my kids aren't in college yet. But seriously, if you're putting this chemical bomb into your coffee, you're blocking your own effort to lose weight. If you're using creamer or half and half that can sit out for hours, I think you have your answer. It's filled with weight gain obesogenic chemicals. Here are a few of the chemical highlights from the French vanilla coffee mate creamer ingredient list. Dipotassium phosphate, mono and diglycerides, natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, acesulfame potassium, which is another sweetener. By the way, I just read you the ingredient list for the sugar-free version of the Coffee Mate creamer. I find it hilarious that they would claim this is sugar-free. True, there's no actual sugar in it per se, but it's filled with hyper-intense sweeteners, including sucralose, mono and diglycerides, and acesulfame potassium. I'm pretty sure your pancreas is not aware that this is the sugar-free version. Also, what do you imagine the artificial flavors are adding to the product? I don't think it's a broccoli flavor. Of course not. Most likely, it's a sweet-tasting vanilla flavor. Number 3 on our list of surprisingly unhealthy foods is lean cuisine dinners. Here in my example, I tried to choose a type of frozen meal that might be popular, so I selected a lean cuisine simple turkey dinner. They are portion-controlled, convenient meals, so people think of them as healthy, but read the ingredient label and you might be in for a surprise. I was astonished at the length of the ingredient list on this one. Here are a few of the Nova 4 highlights. Maltodextrin, turkey flavor. That's not turkey, by the way. It's a chemically created turkey flavor. Gum arabic, carrageenan, sodium phosphate, caramel color, fructose, grill flavor, natural flavors, and so on. Keep in mind that when we microwave our food in plastic, we are then ingesting some harmful chemicals that have also been linked to weight gain and other hormonal problems. Any food that we microwave in plastic is a no-go in my book. Not that we can never make exceptions, but I would certainly recommend limiting exposure to hot plastic adjacent to your food if you want to lose weight. That said, I am losing 0 hours of sleep over the fact that I personally consumed about 200 of these lean cuisine meals every year for a decade before I knew any better. What can you do but live, learn, and move on? Actually, one of my kids wanted to make a frozen Stouffer's spinach souffle recently. We read the ingredient list, and while it wasn't perfect, it was reasonable, with all real food ingredients except for some soybean oil. I said okay because I wasn't in a position to even consider whipping up a homemade spinach souffle from scratch on a school night. But the one thing I did do was pop it out of the microwavable container and into a glass dish before putting it into the microwave. Take a listen to episode 14 if you'd like to learn more about the way plastics impact our weight and our health. And actually, there was new research just published this month telling us that microwaving our food in plastic probably contributes to some of the premature birth and preterm birth problems that we see in this country. Before we move on to number 4 of our surprising food items, can we please circle back in horror to reflect on the fact that there's something in that turkey dinner called grill flavor? Grill flavor, like you cooked it on a grill. That is just ghastly. Even I'm surprised by this one. I've never heard of that before. Okay, moving on. Number 4 is an entire category, bars. There are so many surprises in this category, it was hard to choose. I ended up selecting a Cliff Bar, chocolate chip flavor, because it's one of the most popular bars I see. I could have chosen RX bars or Kind bars because these are considered to be so much healthier than others, yet they typically do have hidden Nova-4 ingredients. So what's in the Cliff Bar that you might want to know about? Well, before I start with the ingredients, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that this bar has 16 grams of added sugar. 16 grams! This is over the top. That's 4 spoonfuls of added sugar in one little bar. Yikes. But I promise to stay focused on the ingredients that might surprise you. So here they are. Please be sure to notice that organic isn't a guarantee that a food is healthy. And this product is an excellent example of that false healthy halo that some organic ingredients create. Here we go. Organic brown rice syrup, soy protein isolate, barley malt extract, organic tapioca syrup, organic cane syrup, that's just secret code for sugar, right? Sunflower and or soybean oil, and of course, our favorite, in air quotes, natural flavors. Natural flavors are showing up all over the place, and their impact on our bodies is anything but natural. As for soy protein isolate, this is a processed protein that is a far cry from just eating a soybean or even a piece of steak. And when you hear sunflower and or soybean oil, understand that this means they are going for whichever hexane-extracted, mass-produced, ultra-processed version of these oils is the cheapest. That is not going to be the best for your health. A bar that I enjoy more than one of these Cliff Bars with all of the ultra-processed ingredients is a simple cashew cookie Lara bar. L-A-R-A, Lara bar. Not a Luna bar, a Lara bar. It contains cashews and dates. That's it. 2 real ingredients. And no, I don't get any money, not even a free Lara bar from that company. I just appreciate the clean nature of their apple pie, cherry pie, and cashew cookie Lara bars. All right, number 5 is the one that makes people gasp when they see it. You may have heard me talk about it before. Starbucks sous vide egg white and roasted red pepper bites. Let's get natural flavors out of the way. Of course, these have natural flavors on the ingredient list. They also contain maltodextrin, citric acid, carrageenan, mono and diglycerides, locust bean gum, guar gum, powdered cellulose, and natamycin, a mold inhibitor. Yuck! The funny thing is that this is far from the unhealthiest item you'll find in a Starbucks. What makes it shocking is that this is what almost everyone orders when they're trying to lose weight. It sounds like it would be so healthy by the name, sous vide egg white bites. My recommendation, instead of a sous vide egg white and red pepper bite from Starbucks, is to just make yourself 2 hard-boiled eggs and slice up a red pepper. Done. Cheap and fast. That is an incredibly healthy choice for breakfast, and it doesn't take long to make 2 hard-boiled eggs and slice up a pepper. It doesn't take as long as driving to Starbucks and ordering the chemical bomb Nova-4 bites. Don't leave yet. I have a present for you. This month, we're doing a raffle for 1 free membership in our 12-week weight loss and longevity webinar program. This is a serious treat for 1 lucky podcast listener. Someone is going to win, and because this raffle will only be talked about for 2 weeks, you have an excellent chance of being that winner. If you'd like to be part of our raffle, which is free, of course, head over to smartweightlosscoaching.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom where you'll find a form. Enter your name and email and type the word raffle in the message box. That's it. In 2 weeks, we'll draw a winner. We won't announce your full name on the podcast, but we'll share your first name and we'll contact you directly by email. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like more support during your smart weight loss journey, check out our group coaching program at smartweightlosscoaching.com. Until next time, stay well and stay smart.